I first of all admit it was a bit of a surprise to me, but perhaps I shouldn't be surprised given the issues that were raised by those who petitioned the court and given how the BBI process has been handled. I think there's been a bit of panic in some people, a bit of anger, which in my opinion is unnecessary. Court has rendered its decision. I think it's important to reckon with the fact that this is not just a judicial or legal process, but this is largely a political process. Then the decision of the courts can be mitigated by going back to court, as the AG and the proponents of the BBI constitutional amendment bill are doing. But in my opinion, largely the response should be political. Managing the outcomes of what has happened, putting the process back on track, should be, in my opinion, much more a political approach than even the legal approach. I know the legal approach has to happen because some things have to, they have to push for them to be set aside, for the record to be set straight. There were a bit of contradictions here and there. But I think most important for me, Oloo, is that some things have been missed in the approach, the political approach to this process. That BBI, as has been said many, many times, is not just about this constitutional amendment bill, has been missed by even the most visible proponents. That perhaps this is an opportunity to bring back the BBI project on track for exactly what it is, than to make continue with the narrow focus of constitutional amendment. That is legitimate, in my humble opinion, is legitimate. It ought to continue, but the rest of the BBI package, including policy proposals and recommendations, including administrative, including legislative, all those things need to come back on the table for the public to know comprehensively what is contained in the BBI proposal, because it's not limited to the very few and narrow issues that people are arguing over in constitutional, the proposed constitutional amendment. I give you just one, and in the interest of time to allow my colleagues also their space, I give you just one example. One of the things on which the court dwelt, which is public participation law, yes, is contained in the BBI policy recommendations. That although we have this in the Constitution, we don't have a national policy, neither do we have a national statute regulations to guide public participation. Somehow the court has some standards that it used to enact that process. And I agree with the court. It made some nice observations in terms of the failure to carry out comprehensive civic education.